this is Kirk.
And this is Byrd. It's the Kirk and Byrd Show. We are joined today by two stars of the St. John Paul the Great Catholic High School in Dumfries, Virginia. We've got Amarion Custis and Justus Washington. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Kirk, before we get into learning a lot more about these young men, why don't you tell folks where they can find us?
You got to do just what Amarion and Justus did. You go to YouTube, you subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter at the Kirk and Byrd. The other podcast platforms, just Google the Kirk and Byrd. They'll all come up, whether it be, the Google platform, Apple, Spotify. And then we're trying to get a Facebook forum going, and that is the 703-540 Nova High School Sports, posting things on there. Sign up for that, and we're trying to put more and more content on there to kind of be like some of the other boards that have thousands and thousands of people that sign up for it and put things on there. So just take a quick minute, hit subscribe to us. Our numbers do better with subscribers, and we will take it from there. So middle of hoop season, and I was looking at y'all's schedule, pretty unbelievable schedule. So we were just talking before about you guys are an independent, but Rusty, you're saying trying to get in the WCAC, which is one of the premier high school basketball leagues in the country easily. But you're also playing some Richmond teams. So how is the season going, Amarion?
It's a little rocky, but we have games that we got like a couple more games before the season ends that can get us back into position that we need to be to try to make the playoffs. But it's been a little rocky season.
Yeah, so when you say rocky, but what people don't understand is you're playing some of the top teams in the country. All right, like when I'm looking at the schedule, I know you guys are playing Paul VI, Bishop O'Connell. You're playing it like it's no Bishop McNamara. Like you're playing tough teams, and you're still getting W's. You're getting wins. It's just you may not be beating the teams that most people don't beat. All right. And so it may not be where you want, but I see this program. It's been growing. Each year you're getting more and more wins. Justus, tell us a little bit about you both are seniors. Tell us a little bit about your time at John Paul the Great. How long you've been here, you've been at the program, how you've grown as a player, and this season, how is it going for you personally?
I think for myself personally, like as a school, I mean, it's a high academic school, it's college prep, so the workload is definitely at a higher level than most other schools. So I think that's kind of like what sets us apart. I've been here all 4 years, from freshman all the way now to my senior year. I think as a person, I think with the academics is helped with preparing myself for college, obviously, knowing that when I get to college, that the workload is going to be a lot easier. And from sports perspective, I think it's helped me grow as a person and help with my work ethic and getting to the next level.
Okay, cool. Same thing for you, Amarion. How long have you been there, and how have you seen yourself grow and your game grow along with the program?
Yeah, like Justus said, like the college prep, the workload's a lot. He said, like, when we get to college, he felt like it's gonna be easier. We had kids come in from college that graduated from the program, come back and tell us that it's been way easier from going, like, it's been easier
because of their experiences there, right?
Experience from John Paul. And my experience from there, I transferred my sophomore year, going into my sophomore year, I transferred there. And I grew a lot. I learned a lot from private school, because I've been at public school all my life. So like I learned a lot, and I feel like I grew a lot of learning from other people that learn stuff that we really learning.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, both of you. For this year, you've played some top teams. What was one of your favorite games this year that you enjoyed playing? Doesn't matter if you all won or lost, but it was an exciting game, or you had a big game. And it's not just this year, over your time there.
I feel like our exciting game I played out of my whole time being there, I feel like O'Connell this year, because it was a lot of fun playing. playing the number one person in the country, state. I mean, a state. I feel like it was pretty fun playing against them, top level dudes.
Yeah, yeah. I saw you guys play Gonzaga last year at your place, and you guys were hanging with them in that first half. It's one of the things I noticed is you guys have really good guard play, but it's hard when you have teams that are so big. Haven't seen Gonzaga this year, but they had some height. And describe your game to me, Amarion. I believe you're one of the leading scorers in all of Prince William County. That's usually an inside Nova. And are you the leading scorer on this year's team? For John Paul the Great?
Nah, not this year. It's
okay.
Our junior forward Elijah Williams. He's our leading scorer right now. But
okay.
My game is I'm more of a like attack to the basket type of dude to get like the foul calls and try to foul out their best player that's ever that's guarding me or the person that's guarding me. I have a mid-range game.
Hold on. That is a classic 7-5-7 game. I'm gonna tell you, your dad's from down there, Allen Iverson. Like that's how we play. Dude. Basketball was not my game, but I love to play, and I always say, as long as I play the men's league, like I'm gonna take you to the basket. I'm gonna try to take you to the basket. So that's classic 7-5-7. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, like I was saying, I can shoot the mid range a little bit, and then if you give me the open three, I will knock it down.
Are you playing off guard mostly?
Yes, sir.
Playing 2 guard?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. And you ever play point?
Yes.
Okay. Justus, what about you? I wasn't able to watch film on you. I watched some of Amarion's. You're a guard also, right?
Oh yes, sir. Just kind of like Amarion said, I'm more of a attack the basket type of guy. I will attack the board, so if no one boxes me out, I will get that put back. I think I probably have one of the best left hands anyone's probably ever gonna see. So if I get to that left hand, you already know that you're done because just the way that I can spin the ball in any type of way is gonna go in. My right hand's not bad. I can still kind of like Amarion said, get the foul and get to the free throw line.
You're left-handed.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
And that's any sport.
That's my joint, being left-handed and taking people to the basket. I'm a little bit. I can get high shooting from outside, but I'm mostly trying to take you left. All right, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Now, what would you describe as one of your best experiences in your time over there in Dumfries, playing for St. John Paul the Great? What would you say? And it does not have to be basketball related. Well, it could be something you've done at the school, but it could be maybe a trip you all took, like you've gone away and you played in a great tournament. What's one of your best experiences there, Justus? And then we'll get with you, Amarion.
I think when it comes to the basketball portion, we have a dedicated game called the Orange Out that everybody goes to. And I think as experience, like as an athlete, I think that's kind of the greatest experiences I've ever felt. Just because of the atmosphere, everybody goes to the game. There's great energy there. You really feel the adrenaline throughout the whole game. So I mean, everyone's silent until that 13th point. I mean, everybody wants to get that 13th point because you almost feel like because they're very well known, kind of like throughout the John Paul community. So I feel like it's probably one of the best experiences that I felt at John Paul.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Yeah, I'll have to say the same thing. It's a very fun experience, especially when you're playing on the court and you got your friends, families there cheering you on, being quiet to the 13 points. And once everybody hit that 13 point, everybody go crazy.
One a year, Orange Out, where you do that, or is there multiple?
It's an every year occasion because we had a student. She had passed from cancer, I think leukemia cancer, back a long time ago. So we dedicate that game towards her, and the orange, the color for leukemia is orange. So everybody wears orange, the whole student, staff, everybody, even in school, we usually wear uniforms, but in school, the day of the game, we get to wear orange that whole day. And then everybody comes in, sit down to the 13 points, because that's the age that she passed. So
I'm going to ask the significance of the 13. That's pretty cool. So everybody's kind of quiet until the 13th point scored?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, man. We got to go with that. We got to go with that, man.
That's good. I'm glad you guys were able to share that with us. I'm glad we asked that question. And yeah, I see where Elijah's averaging 15 and you're averaging 13 points a game, Amarion. But last year I thought you averaged about 15, right? 15, 16?
Certainly.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now, how tall are you all? Let's get because we can't really tell based on the depth of being here. But how tall are you guys?
I'm 6'2".
Around
Okay.
6'1".
So are both of y'all taller than your dads?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Amarion. I know you are. All right. Now, okay, so look, keep it real here, okay? Because I know your dads are great athletes. Who can either of you beat your dad in basketball?
Yes.
Now, no. Now I'm saying I know they can beat you
our
for years.
age, of course.
That don't mean nothing. My kids,
are we talking about?
I'm still posting them. I'm playing that old man game.
Oh, nah.
I'm playing. I'm not saying we're gonna get my 5 against your 5. I'm saying 1-on-1. Marcus backing you up, Justin. What you gonna do with that? Come on now, tell me. Be real. Be real.
Hey, man.
Can you beat your dad?
I think I can. I mean, I've always been a year younger than everybody. I mean, technically, right now I should be a junior. I've always been the youngest on the floor. I've always been the smallest. I mean, just yesterday, I'm guarding somebody who's like 6'5", 6'6", 240. I mean, the only thing I've ever guarded was someone who was bigger than me my whole life in basketball. So I don't think height or anything like that really would matter with me.
Now I'm talking about Mook. What you gonna do with Mook when he posts you up, son? Come on, dog. I know these guys. Come on, man. Your dad got a little jumper too. He got a little jumper too. Yeah, I know. And Amarion, your dad, no joke, we were rivals in high school because he played for Hampton and I played for Bethel. I normally have nothing good to say about those Crabbers, but your dad had games. So no joke, when we played Hampton, we beat them my 10th grade year. And but that was the year we actually played them twice. But my point is, I told you this years ago when we were at the camp, legit, your dad was all right. Okay, so I'll give him that credit. He was an excellent football player. I haven't had a chance to play with him on any hoops, but I know he was a great athlete on those Crabbers that won multiple state championships.
Oh, question is, what do you think is different now, though? Because I go to high school games and the shooting, more people can shoot. More people can shoot. Bigger guys can shoot. And a lot of times I will not see. I'll see like a 6'6", 6'7" guy that can play. And I would just put them down in the low post. How do you think the game is different from when we played, Justus?
I think definitely in the past, teams usually only had like 1 or 2 dudes who would shoot the 3, but even then they restricted them a lot. Like if you miss 1 or 2 shots, you already automatically coming out to the bench. I think nowadays there's a lot more freedom in basketball. I feel that obviously, like you said, a lot more people can shoot. 6'8", 6'9", you're able to stretch out and hit the 3. You're seeing more bigger guards like 6'4", 6'5", handling the rock. I just feel like it's in a better place right now. I think the offense is a lot better. There's a lot more freedom. And I feel like the defense is better because you have a lot taller, you have a lot longer players now in basketball who can easily guard 1 through 4 or maybe even 1 through 5. So I feel like the game's definitely in a better place.
Yeah.
And you got to remember. Oh, go ahead, Kirk. I'm sorry.
It's okay. One of the things, I mean, Amari he can dunk easily, and that's another thing is that back in the 80s, not that many guys could get above the rim to get the ball in, because it's one thing to get above the rim, but you got to get enough, and if you can't palm the ball, but that's one thing I noticed is like half 2/3 of the team can dunk. It seems like people are jumping out of the gym because. Amari, you're 6'2", and I was watching some of your highlights, but do you think that's from like people playing earlier and aspiring to play above the rim and those types of things? I mean, what do you think the difference is? Because that's just my experience. Is like, a dunk was a rare thing. If somebody could throw it down, and I'm watching him, he's 6'2", 6'1" guys can like really do it. What do you think the difference is now, from the past?
I feel like you said, it was rare seeing people dunk, and like back in that era where there was like people rare seeing people dunk, people would like want to like try to like they like motivate them to try to dunk. So it like they would work on things to make themselves be able to jump out the gym. Like me growing up, I used to watch LeBron highlights, Blake Griffin, like high jumping players back in 2010, back in that era. And I always wanted to jump, and I told my dad that, so he would have me in the door frame, like tapping the door frame, doing that over and over again. I would rep that every time. And then once I got older, finding out there was more ways of getting my bounce up, like doing squats, doing doing squats, different type of like stretches to help you explode more, different drills to help you do that, and doing the forgot what it's called. What is the thing, the bungee things that make you
Vertimax. The Vertimax is a machine everybody's very popular.
Yeah. Vertimax, using the weighted vests and things like that to help you.
So I was going to say that, but before that was a great question, because I was going to say the difference between us and you all, your generation, is a lot of young athletes are first of all, they know the sports that they may start to specialize in, but they also are getting personal trainers or parents or people, or they're playing sports that prepare them even for what they want to do. Now, I've coached track, football, basketball, but I've been a personal trainer to a lot of young athletes, and I'll say, okay, well, what is your sport? Because I trained a young lady who plays college softball now. I've trained basketball players, and so I'm trying to figure out what are they going to need. Okay, so this young lady, she wants to be able to run the bases faster. Basketball player, like you said, that vertical, like paying attention to that is different than I just when we were lifting weights in high school, Kirk, we just went in, everybody did the same. So that specialization and that other that helps so that you're able to jump more, you're shooting more. Like you all were shooting threes when you were young, like you're part of the Steph Curry generation. Like back in the day, because you all around the age of my son, and I was coaching in Prince William County, Eastern Prince William basketball leagues and all that. Like it was nothing to see fourth and fifth graders, sixth graders shooting threes. Like they're coming down shooting threes, and we didn't do that. Like you weren't shooting outside the paint, on a regular basis. So yeah, no, I can definitely see that.
Interested to see, because I don't keep up with the NBA like I used to, but we put this, we said we might ask you, instead of doing athletes, who's your Mount Rushmore for basketball players? You're 4.
As of right now, I gotta say LeBron, Jordan, Kobe,
Jordan, Kobe.
That's pretty hard. But
you gotta pick a 4th, man. There's plenty to pick.
I'm gonna say AI, because AI changed the game a lot. The style he was bringing into walking to the locker room and stuff like that, he brought a lot to the game and changed it a lot.
What about you, Justus?
LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, and I gotta go Kevin Durant. I mean, you can't find a better scorer than that. I mean, you have a 7-footer who can extend down and hit the three consistently, has a great mid-range game, and it's just so tall that he can finish inside. I mean, you don't get many people like that often at all.
How much does it affect y'all's choice with LeBron being number 1 that so many older people, are always saying Jordan? And when you guys watch some of the highlights from the 80s and 90s, the game was a lot slower, and people weren't shooting. But is that part of it? Us old folks always think it's Jordan.
No, we don't.
it is
No, we
LeBron,
don't.
bro.
No, we don't. We don't know.
It is.
It's funny. We don't all think it's over. Hold on. Magic Johnson, both of y'all lists. Okay, all you need to do is take the Kobe part off and insert Magic Johnson. Now let's talk.
I don't know.
But go ahead with your LeBron talk. Go ahead. Because all he is doing what Magic did.
It has to be LeBron, man. I mean, Jordan, I'm not saying he's not a great player. He's obviously a great player. But when you look at Jordan, for starters, he wasn't even the first pick of his own draft class. He wasn't. And if you look at the different eras now, obviously back in the 80s, they didn't have, I mean, social media technology. It's not a thing of what it was today. Jordan surprised the game of how good he was. LeBron coming out of high school, 17 years old, people are calling him a prodigy and that he's going to be the next great thing. So coming out of high school, LeBron had a high standard. And to see that and to see him go above those expectations, I mean, that's just a great start already. I mean, look at the third season that he played in the NBA and look at that Cleveland Cavaliers team that he brought to the finals against the Spurs. I mean, he beat that Celtics team that had Garnett, that had Rajon Rondo, that had Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, beat them. He beat the defending champs, the Detroit Pistons, when they beat Kobe in the finals. I mean, just seeing all these accolades with no help, by the way, with absolutely no help. When Jordan didn't have any help, he couldn't even get out the first round. When Jordan was younger, he couldn't beat Bird.
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. I totally agree. And let me tell you what, everything you just said, Justice, and throw this on top. So I agree. My favorite player of all time is Magic. And I think he would have done the same thing, Jordan, if he hadn't had to leave the game early. But let me just say this. When LeBron took Cleveland and won a championship, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. That was a horrible franchise. They had never won anything. The whole city hadn't won anything in years. So when he did that, I was like, oh, yeah, you the man. Now, the other thing I do want to point out, and we'll give you a chance, Amarion, if you want to add a little more perspective, is now I knew right then with that last discussion, I know what it's like in that house because I know his dad. And this is what Marcus and I would do at work all day. Those discussions, I could tell you've had that debate several times and you presented well, but I can tell you are Mook's son. Yeah.
And LeBron would not have been the number one. LeBron would not have been the number one pick in that 84 draft because back then, a 7-footer that could play was gonna go, and it didn't matter how spectacular. A great big man, and the game was also slowed down. But I would say this in defense of LeBron would tear it up back then. A 6'8" guy that could bring you out and shoot as well as how big he is. A lot of people don't understand how big he is, but I think that a lot of times people think, well, everybody can do what Jordan does. You take the vertical away, man. What he did, and I don't know if I've seen anybody since who is as competitive as him. Maybe Kobe. That's the difference. But again, you guys have heard this over and over. The defense, what you were allowed to do back then. Hand checking people down low and all that. That's where, you see all those old, Shaq fighting people, Detroit bad boys and all that. That was, that was a big one. But I do, when there was a 7-footer back in the 80s and he could play, number one guy. Ewing, everybody knew he was going to be number one. So it's different now.
Yeah, and I'm not hating on y'all list. Y'all lists are great. You cannot go wrong with those names. But I would say this, when I was surprised you didn't mention, because I think this player is one of the top 5, definitely top 10. And when you talk about change the game like AI, I think Steph Curry has been incredible and is one of the greatest basketball players, not just the greatest shooter, but one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game. So he's the only one I would have probably, put in there. But no, you guys, that's a great list. Growing up, do you guys have any role models in your life or people that have been a major influence? And it doesn't have to be, just somebody local. It could be somebody you look up to, but yeah, is there anybody that you want to give shout out to or somebody that's made a major impact in your life?
Probably gotta say my mother and my father. My mother, they both push me to do things. When I tell them I wanted to do this, they will be like, okay, try to push me, find different things. help me
Say
better.
their names so the people know.
Cassandra Custis and Keith Custis.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's your mom from? Where's your mom from, Amarion?
My mom's actually from around Hampton area. She grew
Oh,
up
she
in,
is?
yeah, she grew up in Phoebus.
All right. Go
Kirk
ahead.
went to Phoebus.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, them two, they both motivate me, push me every day. Like I said, they will put me in stuff that I was interested in and to help me better myself at it.
What about you, Justice?
I would have to say it has to be my dad, Marcus Washington. I mean, he coached a lot even before I was born. I mean, he went into coaching when he was in his 20s. I mean, he's been coaching for over, I think it's like over 25 years now. I mean, just the knowledge of the game that I have now, the way that I look at things, I have to all give thanks to him. The different sports that I played, like, the things that I always wanted, he always got me because he always wanted my life to be what his wasn't. So I feel that he made me the person that I am today. And I'm a lot like him. So I feel that he definitely was the greatest influence with me.
Okay, that's good. That is great, man. You all are just outstanding young men. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, and we've talked a lot of sports, and you've given us a lot of information that I didn't know necessarily about your school, that program, and I'm learning a lot more about you from in the perspective of an athlete. But now we want to transition so people can know even a little bit more, like outside of sports. What are some of the things that makes Amarion tick? What does he like to do away from the court? And
Yeah, we always think that your content, media, cinema, movie, food, and music is a peek into your soul. So, I mean, everybody likes to talk about that. Amarion, where do you get your stuff? Because we grew up, Thursday nights was the Cosby Show and Cheers was on and all that. Are you getting your stuff from YouTube? You watching it mostly on your phone? You probably do, but what kind of stuff do you like?
What do you mean, like what type, like what I like watch on my phone or like?
Right, movies, whatever, even
do you,
reality shows.
Are you streaming anything? Are you watching Did you watch Last Chance U?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Last Chance U, but like movie wise, if I like go to like watch like a movie, if I'm like bored at home and I want to watch a movie, my go-to movie would probably be the Cars series, Cars 1 and 2 and 3.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Me too.
Is there a movie? This is more with like network TV, but if you put on whatever, is there a movie that if it's on, you're going to stop and watch it? You know, for me, it's like Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump. You got anything like that, Amarion?
Yeah, I have a lot of movies that I would sit there and watch. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Boys in the Hood, which I probably are, but
excuse me. Excuse me.
You're
looking at a boy that was from the hood, okay? Like, but of course, I made my kids watch that movie, man, because you know what? Boys in the Hood, Friday, all those shows. My kids grew up hearing us saying little like "Bye Felicia" and all that, and then finally they saw the movies like, oh, that's where it came from. Yes, so all that stuff.
Yeah, like those type movies, I like. Oh, I like watching old school movies. I ask my mom, like I see like an old school movie on like that's like on my feed on like TikTok or like Instagram. I ask my mom what movie it is, and she'll tell me, and I go sit down and watch it.
Oh, good.
Let's see, Justice.
when my when I was younger, my dad and I don't really watch TV much anymore, just because of how outside of the house I am. But if I do watch, my dad and I like to watch a lot of like documentaries or stuff having to do with like the police, like LAPD or like
Oh yeah, crime
First
is
48, like stuff like that. I
First
love
48.
watching
I
that.
love that show, man. I was watching that thing 20 years ago. Miami was a real good one. Miami had a good one. That's a great show. They've got some others after the first 48 too. So that's funny, and they've had that all over the place. What about so that's reality. That's what I was Rusty. That's what I was gonna say. Any other reality TV? And it doesn't have to be the crazy stuff, you know, Jersey Shore and all that, but you know, any other reality stuff?
Uh, no, I have seen Jersey Shores. Though sometimes I like walk upstairs and I walk into my parents' room and I'll see my mom watching TV, and it might be like like the Real Housewives, or like it'll be like the Kardashian show or something. And I'll just be like, man, I don't know why you watch this
But
type of stuff.
do
90
do
Day
y'all watch any
Fiance,
of?
because
Say
it's good
exactly.
garbage. That's it, man.
Okay,
Say
here's one.
yes to the
If you get
dress.
now, I don't know if y'all watch All American. That's football. It's really corny, but if you ever get a chance, you want a classic, great high school show, football show, go watch Friday Night Lights. Not just the movie, but watch the TV show.
The show's better than the movie.
Me and my dad used to, when he was back living in Fredericksburg, me and my dad used to sit there and watch that. So we'll watch
great,
that.
Great. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan. It's a lot of people that are stars now. When they were younger, they were in that. So yeah, that I because my kids were watching All American, and I'm like, this is corny, bro. You need first of all, the athletes on the show aren't athletes. They don't look like they even know how to play football, throw a ball, catch a ball. I said, and the storylines were so corny. So we watched Friday Night Lights. They were like, oh, I get it, Dad. This is good stuff. Okay. All right. Have y'all ever gotten into, like, from, I don't know if you go to movies a lot, but are you all fans of like Marvel Universe or Star Wars or DC Comics?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. I'm a big Marvel fan.
Oh, that's my dog. Yeah, Spider-Man. Yep. Who would be who is your favorite superhero? It can be from any DC, Marvel, anything. And do you have a favorite superhero? And if that's your favorite superhero, is that, if you had a superpower, is that what you would want? Or is it something different? Like, I'll tell you this. Growing up, I used to watch the Super Friends, and my favorite superhero was Aquaman, because I just felt sorry for him, because like they had Batman, Superman. I was like, but Aquaman not getting no love. So I liked Aquaman. And now they got the Aquaman movies. I know my powers would be very limited to the water, but I still thought Aquaman was cool. What about you, Justus? Oh, go ahead, Amarion. You can go.
So like I said, my favorite superhero is Spider-Man. And then if I would have like one of his superpowers, it would be spider senses, because I can detect anything that's coming that's coming my way.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. You got to watch this right here. Coming your way, son. Go ahead, Justus.
My favorite superhero growing up always was Batman. I loved Batman. I always watched any TV series with that, animated movie. I always loved them. But obviously, he doesn't have superpowers. That's still my favorite superhero of all time. But
no, you know what his superpower is? He paid. That's his superpower. That's his superpower. Bruce Wayne is just rich, like Iron Man. But that's a cool superpower. Yeah. Do you ever see the old Batman TV show that we grew up on?
60s, Adam West.
Oh, Adam West.
Adam West. And they go bam, ow, boom. You ever watch that?
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of that one.
I have been a big fan. Spider-Man movies first, but a big fan of a lot of. There's been so many different Batman characters in the movies. What about you, Kirk?
I'm not a big sci-fi person. I was 7 or 8 years old when Star Trek came out, and I'm gonna say something.
Star Wars.
Sorry, I'm gonna say something. I don't like Justus. You were talking about crime-related movies. I love crime-related movies. Goodfellas, Usual Suspects, Mystic River, some of those great movies. But I had a prejudice going into The Matrix that it's not a reality-based movie. It lost me. I watched The Matrix. I could not keep it. After 30 minutes, I dropped off. So that's the one thing. Every now and then, though, I will do the sci-fi. Like, what are the big TV shows that everybody? I can't believe I'm going blank. Harry Potter, and then there's the other Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. I have this thing that it's not about real life. It's make believe. So, yeah, that's the one thing I've got. This thing with sci-fi. I just don't get it. But I will say this: the Marvel movies are very good. The Iron Man, the one with Robert Downey Jr. I do enjoy those. So, those are pretty good. It's funny. We talk about food all the time. So, Amarion, if you've got one fast food place, you're hungry, it's 11 o'clock at night on a Friday or Saturday night, what's your go-to?
Probably Wingstop.
What is it?
Oh,
Wingstop.
Wingstop.
Is that fast food though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Justus, what about you?
That's a good one.
With me, I had to probably go with Canes. I love Canes.
Oh, Canes is real popular now, man. We were in Charlottesville for the football state championship. That line was out the door. That's where we ate lunch.
I've heard of Wingstop. I haven't heard of Canes.
Yeah, they have one. There's
Canes
one
up here.
Yeah, there's one. It's one in Richmond. You gotta go not Richmond, like Fredericksburg. My fault. They put one in Fredericksburg.
Right. Fredericksburg has one now. Yeah, I think we're getting one up here in Prince William pretty soon. Yeah, the line is always long. Their specialty is like chicken fingers, right?
Yeah.
And I think they do.
Okay. All right, man. All right. So look. All right. We'll ask you guys one more question, but a lot of times it's the same answer. What is your go-to app on your phone? Like when I know Kirk, he's old, so he probably just goes to his phone and goes to Facebook. All right, but me, I think mine has always been like ESPN and Facebook. But what is your go-to when you pick up your phone? What's the first thing you probably going to go check or look at?
Probably Instagram.
Okay.
Justus?
Yeah, probably Instagram for me too.
Okay. A lot of the young folks, and I think my son goes to Snapchat first now, but Instagram is probably his one or two. Okay. All right. So saying Instagram, make sure you also follow the Kirk and Byrd Show on Instagram. All right. And let's help these young men make everybody also really, I know you all already watch YouTube, but be a regular viewer of the Kirk and Byrd Show. So when we ask you, when you're playing in the league, when y'all are both big time college or pro players, and then somebody interviews you and you say, what is your favorite app or your favorite? First thing I do is I go to YouTube and I pull up the Kirk and Byrd Show. All right.
Rusty, mine is email, man. Mine is email. What's yours?
Sadly, it is email, but I was trying to take email and text messages out of that. But
YouTube, YouTube second. That's my favorite social media.
I don't know. I really don't. I only really do a lot of YouTube when it's us. I don't. I think for me, and I don't get on Facebook as much as I used to, but I would say probably I'm on the ESPN app a lot. So.
I can tell you right now, the reels on YouTube, they figure out what you like, how long you stay on the video. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to pull mine up, and I guarantee you there's a cat with kittens or a dog with puppies because they know that I love watching that stuff every single time. And I am guilty of watching a cat. Oh, yeah, there's a cat and a dog, and I watch that stuff. So watch a lot of kittens and stuff like that, but they know what I like. And we say all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I say all this stuff about how people are just addicted to this and the stimulus. Let me check my email. Let me check my app or whatever. But I have to admit, man, there's sometimes when for 30 minutes, it's really cool just to watch animals and things like that.
Wife on Instagram. Only reason she goes up there is because we have a golden doodle. She likes to see all the little funny things that golden doodles and dogs do. I totally get it. All right. Look, before we wrap this up, I want to, just so our audience knows a little bit more about you, and then I just want to frame it in ways. So if I were to ask you, Amarion, what does your game look like? If somebody, is there a particular NBA or college player that's very popular that people, if I was to say, oh, that's what your game looks like, who would you say? And same for you, Justus. Or maybe it doesn't look like it, but you'd like to model your game to be like that, like Damian Lillard. It could be LeBron, or it could be anybody. Who would you say your game? If I'm saying, oh, he plays like such and such, who would they say? Then you don't even have to like the player, but that's what your game probably looks like.
it's between probably like Allen Iverson, because he get like when I watching his film, he will use moves, and I try to use moves, and he does like those type of person. And then if he can't get to the basket, he'll get to his mid range, and that's kind of how I try to like resemble my game too.
Okay, all right, that's a good one. That's a good one. What about you, Justin?
How's your crossover, Amarion?
That's funny. I try to resemble my crossovers.
I know. I watched your highlight tapes. One of the first things I said is he's got a nice crossover. So I had to ask you that. So how about you, Justus?
I mean, I love defense. Defense is like the first thing that I put my most effort into. So maybe someone more like Pesky, maybe like a Patrick Beverly of some sense. I always try to guard someone's like best player. Try to get into people's heads. Like people start talking trash to me. I don't think I do is I just start laughing because I know I'm already in their head. All of like my AAU season, what I would do is I just go and I go their best player. That's what I did.
That is cool. Man, you guys have really blessed us. I want to thank you all for joining this show. I hope it was fun. I know I had a lot of fun. But just getting to know you all, I got to get back out to another game. I'll definitely say hi when I'm there. I'm going to try to get your coach on. I mentioned that to him last year. All right, well, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate it. Look, and if there's anything you want to come back on the show, promote anything, or just kick it with us, just let us know. But you guys have really blessed us. So for Amarion and Justus and my co-host Kirk, this has been the Kirk and Byrd Show. We are out.